you today?
Good.
That's good. Alright, so I'm going to show you a couple pictures, and I need to ask you a question, and what I need you to do for me is to answer my question that goes with the picture, but only in one word, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so for this one, what is she doing in this picture?
Singing.
Good job, you're correct, she is singing. Alright, so for this picture, what's another word for rock?
Stone.
Good job. Alright, so now we are going to start with the harder questions, but I have a feeling you can do this. Alright, so for this picture, can you tell me another word for scared?
Afraid.
Good job. Alright, and for this picture, all of these foods belong to what group?
Fruit.
Good job. And then can you tell me for this one another word for difficult?
Hard.
Yeah, good job. And then what is this?
A parachute.
Yes. Very good. And then for this one, what's another word for pot?
Pan.
Yeah, so good. So for this one, what do you call the worker that goes out in outer space?
Astronaut.
Yes. All right. So for this, what's another word for evening?
Night.
Yes, so good. And then, what is this shape?
A rectangle.
Good job. Then, tell me another word for bug.
Insect.
Yes, good job. What are those?
Binoculars.
Yes. And then can you tell me a word for call, as in he will call?
Yell.
Good job. And then tell me the word that means two matched socks.
A pair.
Good job. All right. So for this one right here, can you tell me a word for quickly, as in he went quickly?
Fast.
Good job. All right. What is this?
An anchor.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so for this one, tell me another word for silent.
Quiet.
Yes, so smart. Thank you. All right, we're gonna get harder now. So, in this picture here, what is this baby wearing around his neck?
A bib.
Good job. And what is this?
Compass.
Ooh, so good. And what are these?
Pyramids.
Mm-hmm. And what is this animal?
A walrus.
Good job. And what is the word for three sisters who are the same age?
Triplets.
Good job. For this one, can you tell me a word that describes something very pretty, like these here?
Beautiful.
Good job. And for this picture, can you tell me another word for path?
Walkway.
Good job. And what is this?
A bow.
Mm-hmm. And for this one, can you tell me another word for below?
Under.
Good job. So for this one, tell me a word for talk, as in he will give a talk.
Speech.
Good job. This picture, tell me a word that means trip by sea.
Cruise.
Good job. And this one, what is this bird?
Peacock.
Good job. So in this picture, what are the sharp things on the rose stem?
Thorns.
Mm-hmm. Right, and then tell me a word for vanish, as in the bubbles will vanish.
Disappear.
Okay. And then for this one, what do you call two external openings of the nose?
Nostrils.
And then tell me a word for this fixture.
A faucet.
Uh-huh. And what is that?
A microscope.
Good job. And then tell me a word for make, as in they will make an airplane.
Assemble.
Oh, good. Good. All right. And tell me another word for money.
Cash.
Uh-huh. And what is this musical instrument?
Tambourine.
Okay. And what's another word for chart?
Graph.
Good job. And then for this one, can you tell me another word for vision?
Sight.
Good job. Alright. And can you tell me another word for inexpensive?
Cheap.
Alright, so for this picture, can you tell me another word for soap?
Detergent.
Good job. Alright. So for this picture here, can you tell me a word that describes someone missing?
Absent.
Good job. So for this one, what is this bird?
A pelican.
Good job. Alright. What is another word for the fall season?
Autumn.
Uh-huh. And then tell me the word for a horse's foot.
A hoof.
And then frogs and toads belong to this class of animal.
Amphibian.
Good job. So for this one, can you tell me another word for fat?
Chubby.
Good job. And can you tell me what this is?
A funnel.
Mm-hmm. Tell me another word for stop.
Halt.
Good job. And for this picture, can you tell me a word that means a bunch of flowers just like this?
Bouquet.
Good job. Okay. So for this one, what one word describes the relationship between these two straight lines?
Parallel.
Good job. Alright. Can you tell me another word for baby?
Infant.
Good job. And then for this picture, tell me a word that describes something as very easy.
Simple.
Good job. And then, what is this?
Pitcher.
Good job. Okay, so for this picture, a good friend will always be there. Tell me another word for always.
Forever.
Good job. And then, what is this part of the gate?
A hinge.
Good job. So for this picture, can you tell me a word for two people that sing together?
A duet.
All right, right here, what is the word for drinks? As in, she will serve drinks to her guests.
Beverages.
Mm-hmm. Right. So this one, can you tell me a word for pull? As in, he will pull the wagon.
Tug.
Good job. Okay. Tell me another word for directions.
Instructions.
Can you tell me another word for draw, like they're doing in this picture?
Illustrate.
Okay. Temperature is measured in what unit?
Degrees.
And for this picture, can you tell me another word for ordinary?
Simple.
Okay. All right. Can you tell me another word for fragment?
Piece.
Okay. For this picture, tell me the word for a baby horse.
A colt.
Good job. Alright, so for this one, can you tell me a word for discard, as in he will discard the noise?
Ignore.
So a drum, like this one, is what type of musical instrument?
Percussion.
Good job. Excuse me. So for this one right here, what is another word for a teacher?
Instructor.
So can you tell me another word for foggy for this picture?
Hazy.
Good job. And then for this picture, can you tell me another word for fake?
Ingenuine.
Okay, thank you. That was a big one. Alright, can you tell me a word for careful, as in be careful with the knife?
Cautious.
Good job. So for this picture, can you tell me another word for toxic, like the chemicals here?
Poisonous.
Good job. So this picture here, can you tell me another word for maze?
Obstacle.
Okay. Good job. So for this picture, can you tell me another word for doorway?
Entry.
Good job. And then this picture. Can you tell me another word for brave?
Courageous.
Good job. Here, can you tell me a word for help, as in the mother will help her son?
Assist.
Good job. So for this picture, tell me another word for join.
Combine.
Here, what is the word for the junction of earth and sky?
Horizon.
Good job. So for this picture here, can you tell me another word for teenager?
Adolescent.
Good job. Then dogs, just like the one here, belong to this family of animals.
Mammals.
Good job. Then for this picture, can you tell me another word for beach?
Coast.
Good job. And what is this?
A gavel.
And then can you tell me another word for go or leave for this picture?
Exit.
Good job. So can you tell me a word that describes something authentic or real?
Genuine.
So for this picture here, can you tell me another word for shy?
Scared.
Good job. And then can you tell me another word for calm or peaceful?
Zen.
Good job. Alright, so kangaroos, like the one here, and possums belong to this order of mammals.
I don't know.
That's alright. Can you tell me a word for a copy or model, as in the children will make a model like they're doing here?
A replica?
Good job. So this picture here, can you tell me another word for box?
Bin.
Good job. Can you tell me another word for silly or foolish, like the picture here?
Funny.
Good job. Alright. So for this one, can you tell me another word for question or ask?
Inquire.
Good job. Alright. So for this picture, what word does this symbol represent?
Infinity.
For this one, can you tell me another word for busy?
Consumed.
Good job. And this one, can you tell me another word for abundant?
A bunch.
Good job. And then this one, what is another word for fingers or toes?
Appendages.
Good job. So appendages, what else could you call those?
Phalanges.
Good job. Can you tell me another word for glue or for paste?
Adhesive.
Good job. Alright, so for this picture, can you tell me another word for railing or handrail, like in the picture there?
A banister.
Good job. Can you tell me another word for cancel?
Void.
And then for this picture, can you tell me a word for this glass that has a base and a stem?
A goblet.
Good job. And for this one, can you tell me another word for prohibit?
Illegal.
Okay, good job. So for this picture here, can you tell me another word for skill?
Talent.
Good job. So, what is another word for talent? What do you think is another word for talent?
I don't know.
That's okay. Just a couple more, I promise. So for this picture, can you tell me a word that describes something as possible, as in rain is possible today?
Forecasted.
Good job. So for this one, can you tell me another word for ponder or think?
I can't think of anything.
That's okay. So for this one, can you tell me a word for the hollow shaft of the feather?
Stem.
Okay, good job. In this picture, can you tell me a word for walk? As in, the man will walk.
Stroll.
What's another name for strolling? So for this picture, can you tell me another word for forgive or excuse? If you don't know, it's okay. That's
I
okay.
can't think of it right now.
It's okay. Alright, one more. So for this one, what is the word for the cross pieces of a ladder?
Rungs.
Good job. Okay. So this one, cows and oxen belong to this subfamily of animals.
Mammals.
Good job. And then, can you tell me another word for able or qualified? No, that's okay.
No.
Couple more. So, elephants and hippos, like the one here, belong to this group of animals.
Mammals.
Okay. What is the leaf on the palm or fern called?
A palm.
Good job. Last question. What is the word for the closure point of the shirt?
Button.
Good job. You did really, really good. Thank you so much.